Hello, my people. Hi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy and excited to be back. Thank you so much for each and everyone who have clicked in to watch this video. Kindly stick in to the last bit. You're so much welcome. Feel in the right place. And today, we're just here for another good and very interesting conversation. A conversation that we really need to engage in because it involves our personal us. And most of the times we concentrate so much on what we can do on other people, on how we can concentrate on other people's lives, and we forget how important it is to also be there for ourselves. And as our topic goes, today we'll be talking about self-love. As simple as it is, self-love. And I know most of us, we get to casualize the word self-love. And when we get to evaluate ourselves, I'm so confident there are most of us that don't love ourselves as much as we're supposed to be doing. Because I believe we always say that it's the human nature to get that desire to be loved. It's the human nature to love. And I would like us to always be on the lookout that as much as we're looking forward to loving other people, do we love ourselves? Are we there at times to do the things that we always do for other people? Do we love ourselves? Personally, I would like you to ask yourself this question. Do I love myself? When is the last time you appreciated yourself? When is the last time you patted on yourself and you told yourself, do you know what, Leah? You're trying it. Do you know what, Leah? You're doing it. Do you know what, Leah? You're trying. I don't know when is the last time you ever sat and you got to evaluate about yourself and you felt confident of yourself and you felt that you're there to congratulate yourself. When is the last time you just went on a shop, you bought yourself a gift and you're like, purposely, I've gone to this place, I've gone to this mall to look for something that I'm gonna gift myself? When is the last time you bought yourself a new dress? When is the last time you bought yourself a new pair of trousers? When is the last time you bought yourself a shoe? When is the last time you paid, you went somewhere for a date, went there, ate your favorite meal, you paid your bill, and you were so okay with it? When is the last time? Do we love ourselves? Are there things that we do for ourselves willingly, so passionately? We do purposely for ourselves. When is the last time you paid yourself a holiday? You went, spent 2-3 days somewhere, just relaxed, eating and drinking and sleeping. You go, you serve yourself a buffet, you eat the kind of food that you want. You go by the beach, maybe you just there sunbasking. Yani, when is that last time? Because at times I think we are so hard on ourselves. I think we're so busy. I think we're so occupied. I think we focused so much on other people and we forgot ourselves. We forgot how important it is to love ourselves. When is the last time you ever got into a mirror, looked at yourself, and you told yourself, by the way, I look good? When is the last time you ever dressed on a certain kind of attire, you looked at yourself and you were like, hey, I'm smart? When is that last time? You know, we are here out just expecting people to applaud us. We are here out just expecting people to affirm things to us, of which we never do the same to ourselves. Before you get out of your house, do you ever look at yourself and you are like, I look good. This is how I want to look for this particular day. Are we confident about ourselves? Or we are just there out? You know, there are most of us who have had so many things that are negative about ourselves. We fed them into our minds, and that's now whatever we live with. Someone told you that you look like this, you look like this. Someone told you that you never succeed, you'll never have it in life, you never get this, you never achieve this. And that's what we have put in our minds. And we have been told so many negative things, because one thing we can get to admit in this life is the world here out is so negative. At times, even the people you'd expect to be positive, at times they are not positive. At times, even your closest people, they might be so negative. And most of the times we have had so many things that are negative. Some we have fed them into us. There's some things that we grew up hearing, maybe from our relatives, maybe from our family members, maybe from those close people that you grew up with, and we fed them into ourselves. And I don't know whether we need to realize that some of the things that we were told, they are not true. That is just someone who hated you. That is just someone who never wanted anything good for you. And they said things, and we like fed them into our minds. We grew up with them, and now we like so okay with them. Do you ever call yourself for a me and I meeting? Do you ever go at times for self-meditation time? A place you just go sit and you get to ask yourself some questions. You get to evaluate yourself. You get to be like, this is which year is 2024. How many years did I turn this year? For the past how many years, what have I been doing? Really, do you ever sit down to get to know yourself? You know, we are so concerned about knowing people. We are so concerned about knowing what people like. We are so concerned about what people dislike. We are so concerned about what gift can I give you? Maybe what kind of things do you like? Do you ever ask questions about yourself? Do you ever sit down and you're like, by the way, what do I like? By the way, what do I find joy doing? What is that thing that fulfills my desire? Do you ever sit down and get to know yourself? Because I think, and one thing that I am confident about, most of us, we don't know even ourselves. We don't know ourselves. We don't know. At times, someone will ask you a question and you'll be there thinking, because you're also not sure of yourself, because there's no time that you ever sit down and like self-evaluate yourself. Because one thing, we always say that you cannot just love something that you don't know. The reason why you love a particular type of phone is because you have gotten to know its features. You have gotten to know maybe how the camera is. You have gotten to know maybe there's much you know about that phone. That's why you love a certain phone. The reason why you love a certain particular kind of car is because you have maybe interacted with the car. You have gotten to know about how the features are, maybe the inside, the outside, how the mobility and all that kind of things. You don't love something that you're not aware of. That's why we get in life, we get to love different things. Because how I know a certain thing, the other person knows, the liking is different. The same way, you cannot love yourself if you don't know yourself. That is something that I would like us to start with. There's no way you'll ever love yourself and you don't know yourself. So, it's a high time we get to ask ourselves some questions. Do you know yourself? Do you really know yourself? Other than your name, which we call you here out, which when you were born, your mom gave you, what else do you know about yourself? Do you know whatever you like? Do you know your strength? Do you know your weaknesses? Because at times, if you get to know your strength, you'll not hate yourself because of the weaknesses that you have. Do you ever sit down and evaluate yourself? Those are some of the questions I would like us to ask ourselves. Because there is much that is needed of us. And at times we are expecting it from other people. As we are getting to ask ourselves these questions, first I would like us to ask ourselves, what is self-love? We know love, we know self. What is self-love? And as what I can try maybe to define self-love as. In my simple definition of self-love is the ability to appreciate yourself. It's the ability to see the worth in yourself. It's the ability to admire yourself. It's the ability to trust yourself. It's the ability to be compassionate about yourself. Because most of the times is when we commit these things to people and we forget how important it is to do it to ourselves. That is the first question I would like to ask ourselves. What is self-love? And one thing I would like to ask ourselves, I would like us to ask ourselves is, do we love ourselves? You personally, do you love yourself? And there are things that we're gonna get to talk about that will help us to know whether we love ourselves. And there are causes at times that makes us to have issues with self-love. And at times you may never understand why you feel whatever you feel about yourself. You may never get to understand why you don't love yourself, why you ever don't appreciate yourselves. At times it's a feeling that you never get to understand. At times it's something that you never get to relate where it came from. And there are three things that causes us at times to have lack of self-care. There are three things that brings lack of self-love. And one, which at times gets to affect most of us, is childhood trauma. Childhood trauma is something that has affected most of the people. It has given them issues with how they value themselves, how they see themselves, how even they carry themselves along because of that childhood trauma. And childhood traumas are caused by many things. Maybe it's an experience you went through when you were young. Maybe it's abuse. Maybe at times it's the kind of treatment you were given when you were young. Maybe you were never showed love when you were young. Such there are people, maybe it's their upbringing, maybe the family setup. There are some family setups at times they bring trauma to children because maybe the marriage breakup and such maybe the mom was a single mom and there was issues in bringing up. Maybe there was a lot of poverty and maybe the child wasn't able to grow well. There are maybe some steps he or she missed. Childhood traumas is brought by so much. And this is one reason why most people at times, they forget themselves. They no longer love themselves. They grew up having that careless nature of themselves, and they never remember how important it is as they grow up to love themselves. So childhood trauma is one of the reasons why most people don't love themselves. Another reason that brings lack of self-love reason is relationships. Difficult relationships, difficult marriages, toxic relationships. This is something that actually has caused mess to most people. And they no longer value themselves. They no longer see any worth in themselves. They no longer at times even consider them fit for anything. Because the partner or the person who they got married to and maybe they divorced and such this person fed this mind with so much negativity. Maybe it's a husband, the wife got hearing of so many things that are negative about her, to a point she no longer sees anything relevant. She no longer sees anything good in her. Maybe the opposite. The wife used to speak abusive words to the husband, and that man, wherever he is, he no longer sees anything valuable in himself. So toxic relationships and difficult and messy marriages and relationships also causes people at times to not love themselves. And this is something that at times happens to so many people. And something else that thing that causes people at times to forget themselves and not even to love themselves at all is difficult situations. Difficult situation in this manner. Maybe you undergo a certain phase of life that gets to grow you in a certain kind of manner. Maybe it's something to do with what? Maybe lack. Yeah, poverty and such like. Maybe you lack for a certain duration of time. You undergo a period of lack, and to a point, you even hate yourself. You even don't see any worth of you. Maybe you can't be able to provide to your children. Maybe you cannot even be able to provide your basic needs. You cannot be able to give yourself the life you desire, and you get to hate yourself. You get at times to be so negative about yourself. You never see anything good in you. Some situations at times even like grief. There's some people who lose some loved ones and they get to forget themselves completely. And that person will like never see anything good in this life. So at times very hard and situations that pushes us to some point. That is another thing that at times can make us to lack self-love. And I know there are many reasons, but they may fall in the three. And at times I get to ask myself, it's not good at times to ever forget yourself. Because any situation that ever comes to your life, always remember there was you before the situation. I've looked at women who get married, and years later you get to look at them, and at times you get even to pity them. How they looked jovial, how they looked beautiful, how they were growing before at times they got married. And now after marriage, you get married and you forget about yourself. Yes, you have gotten more responsibility, you get a husband, you have to love and take care of, you get children, and you forget yourself. You forget there was you that was before the marriage came, before the children, there was you. Ladies, let's be there at times to love ourselves to this point that may it be children, may it be husband, may it be career, may it be anything. There is nothing that will make us forget ourselves. You know, you'll get to know someone at times who love herself, who love himself, and someone who doesn't. At times by how they dress, at times by how even they present themselves. You know, there's a way you would expect already at a certain age to be dressed like. There is a way you would expect already at a certain age to maybe even present herself as. The same way as praise to a gent. You'll meet a very young man, young in the ages of 20s, and trying to look at him. There are things that have come into his life, they have changed him, he forgot himself, he no longer cares about himself, he's not concerned about anything about himself. At times there are people at times who even get to career. Yes, you've gotten a certain career, you are too much into the career. Maybe it's business, you're too much into the business and you even forgot about yourself. You never meet out somewhere for a coffee. You never even take yourself somewhere. You so much into a certain thing that you forget yourself. And that's where we mess it up. Because if you don't have time for yourself, how do you expect us here out to have time for you? That's one thing that I always ask myself. You don't love yourself and you expect someone to come and love you. How? 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 There are so many gains we get when we get to love ourselves. Actually, loving ourselves will at times extract us from so much things, from so many things, because it all starts at oneself. It's when you love yourself, you think positively. It's when you love yourself, you get to do things differently. It's when you love yourself, you even take care of your personal self. I don't know where you get to realize that there are some people who don't care in this life. There's nothing that gets to worry them. There's nothing that troubles them. They just don't care. They don't care. Whatever comes may, it's never an issue to them. And it's because it started day by day, day by day, day by day. Have you ever talked to someone? Have you ever talked to a certain lady? This lady had gotten out of a marriage with 2 children. And she was telling me that I don't remember the last time I even took a photo of myself, even a selfie, because I don't want to see myself. I even don't want to face a mirror to see myself. Yani, this lady has been rejected. She has been like abused. She has been, yani, the husband had shown her she is a nobody, she is a nothing. And to some point, she even didn't want to look herself at the mirror because she doesn't want to see those kind of words that were tainted on her. She is like, when maybe I see a photo of mine, when I look at myself at the mirror, I will see that thing. You know, it's like she had created an imaginary her that the husband used to call her, used to term her as, used to relate her to. You know, that's what we have done to ourselves at times. We have created an imaginary us, and we have forgotten who we are, and we now live according to what people tell us we are. Because you have been abused because maybe of your character or maybe of your body. You have been body shamed to a point you even forgot you are created in God's image. You even forgot how your mom and your dad and your people are so ever excited about you, how they love you, how they care about you. You forget about the goodness in you, and you now start living according to this what people are saying. We always create an imaginary us, and anyone who has ever succumbed to this issue of lack of self-love, low self-esteem at times, don't careness and all that, it's because we no longer us. We live in this imaginary person that people term us to be. People here out will tint us with all kind of words and everything. You'll be abused at times. You'll be told this, you don't look good, I don't know you look how, I don't know you talk how, I don't know you walk how, hey, you know, how you are mshamba, sijuaga you do what, how you dress, how you do this. And at times, you collect this one from this person, you correct the other one, you correct the other one, and no, you've now created like a person. You have created, now I'm Leah, I've created a Leah number 2 here. A Leah who has everything that is negative. Every negative thing that people talk about, I've created it here. And now I no longer live, this is the person that I see in me. No, that's the thing that we're doing. That's why we no longer love ourselves. That's why we no longer appreciate ourselves. That's why people will believe in you, but you don't believe in yourself. People will tell you, you'll be in a place and people give you a certain responsibility, and you'll be like, no, I cannot. Hey, no. Because other people are seeing the word in you, you yourself, you're not seeing the word. Because you have carried so many baggages. Everything that you were told when you were in class 8, when you were in class 2, when you went to high school, when you went to campus, you've just been carrying the negative things. We have to learn at times to leave the negatives and to carry the positive things. Because this is the root hole of lack of self-love. We must learn to embrace ourselves. We must learn to move with positivity. You tell me I don't look good, I look at myself and I look good. That is upon you. Yeah. Because I was born like this. Either I look good to you or I don't. That is not an issue to me. According to me, I know God created me in His image. I must not be looking good according to you, but according to me, I look good. That is the only thing that at times will make us to love ourselves. When someone tells you, affirm yourself different, you come and tell me that I don't walk nicely. Well, that's you. Do you know what? According to me, this is the walking style that I have known for years. Now it's 20 years plus. I've been walking like this. You have just met me yesterday and you feel I don't walk well. That's upon you. Me, I know I walk good. Yani, don't have this mentality of carrying everything that is negative. No, just learn to live it. You tell me this, that's upon you. And this is the only thing that will help us at times to love ourselves as we are. We will not be like demoralized or depressed because of what people tell us. Because let me tell you one thing, most of the things that is causing us to not love ourselves is because of words that have been spoken to us. And I would like us to get into details, maybe why we lack self-love, what we can do to improve our self-love, and the importance of having self-love. And we'll be talking about this in our next video. For today, I would like us to stop it at that, because I feel I can talk and talk and talk because at times I feel offended seeing someone so disturbed because of something that was said by someone. Either it's true or not, that is up on you. You tell me I'm big. Yes, I know I'm big. But if at all I've grown up like that and I've been like that, that one should not affect me. Yes, we are carrying so much negativity. We should love ourselves. You are no longer even confident to take a picture of yourself because you don't love yourself. You not. When is the last time at times you did something, a self-care? You went and bought yourself a good perfume. When is the last time you went and sat in a salon and you told the salonist, do you know what, I want is in this kind of style. Yeah, you want to look good. You know, you're not looking good for that other person, looking good for yourself. And when at times you love yourself to this extent, you don't do things for people, you do things for yourself. And it's very important to get to this point, a point where you do things for yourself, because you'll always be doing things that are relevant in accordance of your own self. If it's a hairstyle, you keep on telling me that I don't look good in that hairstyle, and myself, I'm so okay with it. I'll do it so confidently. I'll walk with it shoulders high. I'll take pictures with it because I'm not concerned about you, whatever you say. At times, it's by what we listen too much to people, the negative things that we listen to people, and we feed them in our minds, make us to have another notion about ourselves. Why should someone come from wherever he or she came from and come and change the notion I have about myself? No, it can never happen. It can never happen. You hear this, when it comes to me, I transform it and it becomes positive. And one thing that I can get, one thing that we can agree about, self-love is something that we practice. Self-love, it's something that comes from us. Self-love is not something that at times comes instant. We have to keep on reminding ourselves. You have to keep on telling yourself. You have to keep on encouraging yourself. You have to keep on being there for yourself. Yes, even when the world is silent, be there for yourself. Be your first cheerleader. Be your first, yani, always be there to applaud yourself as the first person. Always be there to like believe in yourself. It has to start with oneself. And really stop it at that. We'll get to talk on more details in our next video. Until next time, bye bye. Love you.